round when it was still warped lamp. I hit the third wheel. I'm pretty sure I also hit surprise round. I've accidentally streamed lots of places. Anyway, this is a great transition to say that we're live now. Hi.
And we're streaming at the right place.
Hey everyone.
And we are streaming in the right place.
Welcome to a
Thank
podcast,
goodness.
the only show on the internet where after doing one episode you have the host privileges revoked from you instantly.
Nah, you're still host. It's cool.
Oh shit, god damn it.
It's fine. So, I'm gonna add everyone on the channels, etc.
This is not relevant at all to the podcast, but James, I didn't know you were in this call because you just don't show up in my Discord.
Yeah, that'll
in
happen.
this chat.
Double what?
You're a ghost.
Oh yeah, there's only like 4 people on there's only like 4 icons on the call at any given moment.
Oh, am I only coming in through the left ear or something? Is
That's
it me? Is it just me
bizarre.
also?
I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
that is an issue with your OBS, my dude.
Yeah,
Oh boy, more OBS sound issues.
that's
Do you
probably
mean-
fine. I don't know why my device isn't switched to mono, but you guys talk to the chat while I fix this up.
Hey, chat.
Alright.
Hi, chat.
Are your devices in mono or are you in stereo? Tell me about your devices, chat.
Now remember, in the hit video game Metal Gear Solid 1 for PS1, if you had a mono TV, you would get criticized for it by the
Yeah.
cast of the game.
I should be correct, as of right now. Also, thank you, Dogma Art and Cooper DF for your subs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to a podcast.
Welcome to a podcast about
Just a podcast.
That's it. That's all we have.
There we go. Well done. Seems fixed now. Ha ha ha! I can solve my problems sometimes.
That's all you need.
It's gonna turn on by accident sometimes in the future, so I'm actually gonna tackle that now and swap views over to something else. Let me.
The anticipation is killing me.
What could it be?
What could it be?
This is definitely a preview of one of the games that we're going to be talking about.
Is it a boat?
What was that?
Boat RPG.
Yeah, that's
You
the
know,
one.
we play
Boat
as a boat.
RPG. Okay. Swapping over to podcast desktop. You should be able to see my desktop now, and I should be mono. No, I'm still stereo. Or I'm still mono. God bless. Okay, seems like a fix.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
that's boat RPG, definitely.
Ah, good. That's
Hey.
actually a good game.
I hear it's pretty okay. So
Sharp.
yeah, I just wanted to talk us in and say hi, chat. Hi, everyone. This is a podcast. We're talking about JRPGs tonight because we felt like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tonight with me, I have. Let me take a look. I'm gonna go down the list and just introduce yourselves after I call your name. J-Man, say hi.
Hi, it's me, J-Man. I hosted the last one of these, but then I was murdered and came back to life. That's fine.
That's fine.
Hey, next person.
Typical
James.
J-man behavior.
Hi, I'm James. I'm glad to be here. I'm sleepy. I'm a sleepy bean.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Next up we have Nico, but Nico's going to join us as we keep going. Hi, I'm Jay, etc., etc. I guess I'm hosting this one. I just recorded for a whole long time, so my brain's all scattered all over the
A
place.
whole 5 times.
But yeah, no, it was 5 hours. It was a lot. But I'm here and I'm ready to talk about some video game. Next up, it's Carl.
Hi, I'm Carl. Apparently I have a lot of cactus-like qualities, but that's a story for another time.
Many cactus-like qualities. And then
You know,
finally, Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy, or Yams. Yeah, I play like almost no JRPGs. That's our talking point today, by the way.
Yeah.
JRPGs!
That's the one.
Don't worry. You'll be here to absorb the knowledge that the elders must pass upon the younger generation.
Yeah.
Like through osmosis.
Yes. No, like our
I love the sound of that.
our gimmick for tonight is we're gonna, whether our friends have played these games or not, we're gonna try to share or sell one of our favorite series to the other members of this group, and if 2 people have played the series, they can obviously hop in, but we're just gonna go around, we all prepped something. Or yeah, J-Man's probably just fine because I think you've played everything that everyone's gonna talk about.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Someone talk about the one game nobody but me has played.
What's
Don't worry
that?
about it. I won't say it. You do it.
Is it Cubivores?
No.
Piff's played Cubivores. So if nobody, okay, somebody other than me should go first actually, because everyone knows what I'm gonna talk about.
Yeah.
It's predictable.
Roll a dice, Jay. Roll the pick
Okay.
for us.
I'm eliminating James because James asked to not go first.
It's Nico!
It is. Amy, you're up first.
Oh fuck! I knew it was gonna be.
I'm sorry.
I felt the fucking RNG tingle.
That classic RNG tingle. So, sell us on a game series you like we haven't played or one that we have.
All right. So, specifically JRPGs. I already mentioned that I haven't played a whole lot of JRPGs. Most recently, I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV. That doesn't really count. It's an MMO.
It's still a JRPG.
Before that, this is actually still true. The only Final Fantasy game that I've ever played to completion is Dirge of Cerberus.
Oh my god, that's dope.
Oh, no!
I'm so sorry, Amy.
Alright, now listen.
I mean,
listen.
I liked it.
Dirge Cerberus ain't that bad.
I was
Okay.
13.
There's been
Okay,
worse
so that's
things.
prime Dirge of Cerberus age.
You
You're
could have been
Yeah.
playing. You could have played Type Zero. That's not as bad as it.
I heard Type Zero wasn't that bad, actually.
Type Zero's fine, yeah.
Anyway, so
Anyway.
I'm not gonna talk about that. What I am gonna talk about is probably the JRPG series that I could talk about forever
Hell yeah.
is Pokemon.
Oh,
But-
ultimately, yes.
But most people have played Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
I
everybody.
would like to think so. People
I
would
don't need
file
to
it.
sell Pokemon to people. It sells itself. But I am going to sell specifically the 4th generation of Pokemon.
Ooh.
Because the 4th generation
That
is fucked.
platinum and
This is Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, the
Diamond
optimal
Pearl.
line
Diamond Pearl
Diamond,
and
Pearl,
Full
Platinum,
Black, no.
Heart Gold, and Soul Silver.
Ooh, I didn't know Heart Gold and Soul Silver counted.
They count. They're in
Hell
the
yeah.
4th generation, and then after that, it's black and white. Yeah, there's the Sinnoh region.
Yeah.
Got your back.
You've got your mountains, you've got your shaped like Hokkaido, you've got your purple void into the antimatter dimension in the center. You know? The Sinnoh region.
You got the
It's
black
great.
void of podcast flying over the
You,
sky
you
randomly.
basically have
Yeah.
hell located to a zip code, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Okay, so where should we start? Where should we start?
What do you like about
Um,
Sinnoh?
What do I like about Sinnoh? I actually really like the music in Sinnoh. The Sinnoh region has a fantastic soundtrack. Really good root themes. Just really nice. It's got a good vibe. You know?
Yeah.
I especially like the Mount Coronet theme and the Canalev City theme. They're extremely relaxing and great. And the
Yeah.
Eterna Forest theme is great. So before I get into, like, I guess, the nitty-gritty weird stuff, does anyone have any, like, questions beforehand that you could just fire at me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What was your starter?
My starter. My first starter was probably Piplup, but I am more towards Chimchar now because Infernape is awesome.
Yeah.
Infernape
Yeah.
is great. I was an Infernape man, but now I am a Torterra man.
Oh, Torterra's,
Right.
yeah. That was
I
mine.
It's
keep
extremely
picking-
respectable.
I keep picking fire starters for my generations, and I keep getting rewarded with firefightings, and I'm like, oh my god, can we?
There's only 3 of them are firefighting out of 4.
Out of 4.
I mean out of 7. The other 4 are not.
Yeah. No, I got you.
My bad, sorry. Got my numbers mixed up in my brain. This is why I don't study math anymore.
Now, I am of the rare minority of people who doesn't actually know that much about Pokemon.
Ooh.
I've played 3 of them, and
Okay.
that's about it.
Which one's play?
I have played X, Platinum, and Soul Silver.
All right.
That's
so
about it.
The generation
you
that you
dipped
are.
into Gen 4. That's great.
Yeah. So, I have a question about these games then. Because I've never actually played a Pokemon parallel from another. So,
Okay.
are the differences major or just kind of like little small things like, it's fucking legendary Pokemon's different, that's about it? Or is it like
Are you
actually
talking about
crazy shit?
between like Diamond,
Diamond
and Pearl,
yeah.
or like Diamond,
Yeah.
Pearl, and
Version
Platinum?
differences, yeah.
Yeah,
Version
like
differences.
yeah,
Okay. It's usually very small things. It'll be the mascot legendary, so like Palkia or Dialga in Diamond and Pearl's case. And then there'll be like a handful of other Pokemon that are exclusive to one version. And it's to encourage like trading between people. Hello! Nico has joined
Nico's here.
us!
Ish.
Nico!
No, she can't talk.
We can't hear her! She's stuck in the Sinnoh void!
That's okay.
She'll make it out, she's powerful.
We'll walk that off.
So,
Version differences.
right. So it's usually just a handful of Pokemon that are different, and it's to encourage trading between players, because that was the original selling point of Pokemon, to try and get people to play together and discover things together. So like, I think Vulpix and Growlithe were like one of the two original version differences between like Red and Blue and stuff.
Yeah.
So only one game could get Growlithe, only one game could get Vulpix, and if you wanted those Ninetales or those Arcanine, you had to trade with your buddy and be friends.
Nico, are you
And-
here?
Oh, she's here!
She's here.
Hello!
Hi.
Hello,
I'm
we're live
here at a
currently.
podcast. I'm waiting. My computer is still slowly becoming a real boy again.
Gotcha.
I'm here for now.
Hell
Right.
Everybody, chat, say hi to Nico.
Hi, chat. I can't see you yet because I'm not a real boy. I am but a shadow of one at the moment.
But you are coalescing and congealing.
Yes.
Yeah, very slowly coming together. Hello, chat.
We'll get there.
I'm going to assume you exist because I've been told you're here, and I hope you're all having a good time.
They're all saying hi.
I'm saying hi.
All of them are saying
Yay!
hi. It's very nice to see. It's
We're-
just like a stream, like a column of hello.
We're talking about 4th gen Pokemon right now. Amy's talking us through it.
I stopped playing at Gen 3.
That's fine.
Was Crystal Gen 3? That was the last
No.
game.
Two.
No, that's Gen
That was
2.
two.
That was two.
Shit, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I'll just sit here and congeal. It'll be fine.
I mean, to
Yeah.
be fair, Gen 4 contains the remakes of Gen 2, so...
Yep.
That's fair.
Well, she said Gen 3, but you know. It's
Well, but she said,
fine.
but she said Crystal, thinking it was Gen 3, but that's Gen
Yeah. Gen 2 is the real
I'm
answer,
so
because Crystal was the
confused.
last game I ever played. So I'm just gonna sit here and congeal and Pokemon.
Okay. So to conclude up the question about version differences, I think the most substantial version differences will probably be between black and white, and even then they're not like huge. Like they don't really matter at the end of the day. It's just like you have easier access to certain things. But in black and white, there's a couple aesthetic changes. So there's a certain city in black and white called Appellison City that looks completely different and has different NPCs in it, and has a different vibe and a different theme and different music, actually, depending on what version you're playing. So in white version, it's a town that is rustic and obsessed with like history and preserving the past and stuff. And in black version, it's a very futuristic skyscraper neon city that's like super hype and stuff. It's cool, but that's probably the most you'll get. So usually what I tell people is, what version are you gonna get? Just get the one with the legendary you like best.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Especially, it's so easy to get like all of the Pokemon nowadays with like online interconnectivity, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's that question.
See.
So if you I'm curious why you, in particular, jumped into Gen 4. Like,
Yeah.
like what makes this one the one?
Well, originally, in preparation for this podcast, I was just going to talk about, like, silly things in Pokemon, because there's a lot of silly things in Pokemon. And I didn't want to go on forever, obviously, but I noticed that, like, a lot of the more outrageous ones happen in Gen 4. Because Gen 4 is... I think it sort of has to do with it's programmed in a very specific way that the other ones aren't. And it also is... Its storytelling tends to be a little intense in terms of, like, this is weird to say, but, like, metaphysics and, and just... I'll get into it.
Okay.
But... Question. Is Gen 4 the one that introduced Garbodor? Or is
No,
that
that's
Gen 5.
That's 5. Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Trash Pokemon.
Yeah, trash man.
Okay. So,
I also know, like, Gen 4 is the one where you can go to the library in that, like, port town and get some
Yeah.
really intense lore.
yeah, because the mascot legendaries. Okay, so the mascot legendaries for Red, Blue, Green, and Yellow. They're the starters and Pikachu. Okay, that's fine. In Gold and Silver, it's Lugia and Ho, which are like this sort of like guardian, sea, deity, dragon thing, and like a Fangguan rainbow bird of rebirth.
Yeah.
A bit of a step up. In Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, you have the deities of the land, the sea, and the sky. In fucking Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, the mascot legendaries are the god of time, the god of space, and the god of antimatter.
Yay!
It's a bit
I love
of a
Giratina.
step up. So like,
Giratina's basically Satan in this in the
Yeah.
context of this narrative
It's
too.
not evil.
Oh no, he
it's
just
not
got
evil,
kicked
but
out.
like there are satanic parallels, certainly. that cannot be understated.
Really?
Yeah. And then in the background, you just have God.
Oh.
Like, just God, like God of everything. The creation, the origin. Created the universe, created everything after it, created the god of time and space and
So-
antimatter.
Not Arceus.
No, yeah, Arceus.
Okay, it's Arceus. Okay, I wasn't sure if Arceus is introduced in this generation or later on.
He
officially.
was, but wasn't there some kind of gimmick there was some gimmick you had to do in order to get him in Diamond and Pearl.
I'll get to
Alright.
it.
Okay.
I'll get to it.
Okay, fantastic.
Only thing I
No.
remember about Arceus was that apparently it got gibbed by a random fucking cult in the movie, so who knows?
What?
Snake cultists. Never fuck with them.
We're not going to talk about that movie. It's really fucking bad.
We are
I
gonna
mean,
talk about
most of the
snake
Pokemon
cultists,
movies are
though.
bad, but that
Yeah.
one is like especially bad.
Egregious almost.
Yeah.
What about the hit movie of the same generation, but about Giratina featuring the main villain who strolls out in his Giratina pajamas?
Hold on, I'm gonna hunt an image. I'm memorizing.
Are you gonna find the Giratina pajamas?
Give me 2 seconds.
I actually haven't seen that movie, but
Oh.
I believe you.
Oh, it's wonderful. I
I'm
got
gonna-
actually
I want to see
angry.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but go on while I find this.
Okay, so I guess I'll just warm people up to the weirdness that happens in Pokemon, and I'm gonna talk about stuff that happens in Gen 3. It's actually a pretty famous thing that happened in the 3rd generation, and it's how to get the Reggie trio, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
Regirock, Regice, and Registeel. I'm sure some of you are very familiar with this, but for the uninitiated, for the Reggie trio in Generation 3, so Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, in order to get them, you must have a Relicanth in the front of your party and a Wailord in the back of your party. You need to fly to Pacific Log Town and you need to go to the sea route that's in between that and Slakeport City, where there's a bunch of currents, and they just like carry you along, and you can't fight against them. You just have to wait till they're done, like treadmills or whatever. You have to find a very specific current that'll take you into the middle of the sea where there's a dive spot. You dive into the dive spot, and you come out into a cave. And the cave, oh, I love the pajamas.
Oh, they're so good.
Oh, those are amazing.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're footy pajamas
I
too.
need
That
to-
he's
Oh,
wearing
my goodness.
over his shoes.
I need to know, what did you put in to the search bar in order to get this back?
Giratina costume movie didn't work. Giratina
Yes.
costume. Giratina dumb costume. Giratina movie villain. Search the character's name. There was some effort.
What, Giratina jammies didn't come up?
Giratina jammies, this'll shock you, did not help.
Yeah, he has an
That's
army of
oh, no.
Magnemite.
We need to talk to Google about this. Anyway, so you come up in a cave, and the cave is filled with incomprehensible dot messages that you have to either decipher and infer on your own as a child that these dot messages are actually in alphabetical order, and each little section is actually a letter of the alphabet, so it's like a cipher, right? You figure this out as a kid, or recognize that it's Braille, which you can then
Oh, cool.
to decipher a whole bunch of puzzle messages. So later in the cave, there's one such puzzle message, and the solution to it is to use the move dig in front of it. This will cause an earthquake, and it will say something has happened. So you leave the cave. That's all it tells you. You leave the cave, and now 3 separate rock formations in the region now have cave openings in them, and each one has one of the 3 Reggies. Not the big yellow one in the center, that's Regigigas. That guy was introduced in the next generation. Just the 3 in the front.
He was also in the movie with the pajamas.
He has, he has a very distinct cry in the movie, too.
He holds back the iceberg so it won't sink the Titanic.
Man,
I'd
Regigigas is
buy
such
that.
a bro. Like,
I love Regigigas so much.
fantastic.
Reggie
I love
Gigas
whole-
is my favorite Nintendo president.
I love all of them. Me and my brother, we like to call them the Dubstep Trio and Dubstep Dad. And you will understand if you've heard their cries in the anime. They're fan-fucking-tastic. Anyway, back to this. So, the caves are open now, right? You go to each one, and each one has another Braille puzzle inside. The solutions to which are, for Regirock, from the side, you have to walk right twice, then down twice, then use the HM Strength. Or, if you're playing Emerald, you have to walk left twice, down twice, and then use Rock Smash. For Registeel, you have to go to the center of the room and use Fly. Or, if you're playing Emerald, you go to the center of the room and use Flash. Fucking Flash. And for Regiice,
My
you
favorite.
have to read the message and then don't move for 2 minutes. Unless you're playing Emerald, in which you have to take a counterclockwise lap around the room while hugging the wall. And then you can get the Reggies. Oh, by the way, the Relicanth and Wailord thing, that's reversed if you're playing Emerald.
Of course.
I see.
I would say this sounds like a bug, but
No.
knowing Pokemon, this actually is the real way to get them
Oh, yeah,
legitimately.
This kind of goes hand in hand with my remembrance of playing through Ruby and Sapphire. I'm thinking of the wrong game. Of Diamond and Pearl being really expansive and feeling like there was a lot in the world I can do.
There sure is. I would say most of the Pokemon games feel like that. There's just a lot to do.
Sun and Moon and X and Y didn't feel like that as much for me, but in Diamond and Pearl, it always felt like I was going somewhere new.
Yeah.
So let's say I caught my brand new 3 Reggies, and I want Dubstep Dad in the background. What do I got to do to get him?
Well, first of all, Dubstep Dad didn't exist in the 3rd generation.
Oh, okay.
So you couldn't actually get it in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. You had to wait until the next generation came out. So so Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. In which case, you needed to have the Regis already. And I believe, I didn't double check this, but I believe you had
Thank you for
to
the sub,
transfer
Dogma
them up.
Art.
Thank you so much.
You had to transfer them up from your game if you already caught them. It was either that, or you needed to use very specific event versions of the 3 Regis, which would unlock Regigigas.
Yeah.
It was
oh my
It's
god.
convoluted.
I
Yeah.
I remember in Platinum actually doing that. I remember correctly. Wasn't Regigigas fucking level 1 when you find
Yes.
him?
One of the versions of Regigigas is level 1, yes.
You just
And-
accidentally kill his ass.
Yeah, and the only way to get it is to transfer up, or there is a limited time, like I believe, item or something that causes the Regis to spawn in various caves all over Sinnoh. But if you didn't, like, I believe that like it was either like an online connection thing or an IRL item that you'd get. Either way, impossible now.
Yep.
What was the lore behind the 3 Gigis?
Well, I believe they're just supposed to be like golem protectors kind of thing. But they also have like the added like flavor lore of representing the Stone Age, the Ice Age, and the Iron Age.
Oh, whoa! I didn't know.
Oh.
Yeah,
And then the normal ass dad age.
yeah. Well,
Dad age.
Regigigas is the continental Pokemon. The lore behind that is that it literally took all the continents and pushed them into place.
Yeah, the lore behind him is that he rose from an iceberg to stop the same iceberg from sinking the Titanic.
And then he pushed the
You heard it here,
Titanic into
guys.
place.
Yeah, you heard it here, guys.
And
Regigigas is a bro. Thank you,
They
no
didn't
stepdad.
tell him thank you, so he just moved the iceberg back in front of it. Just-
All right, so yeah, Regis were something, but that's a pretty famous example. Most people have known that. It kind of became a meme for a while that like Generation 3 was
God,
weird
I just
for
like
that reason.
that finding missing no is easier than finding the Regis.
Oh yeah, he's.
Yeah. Yeah. But let me tell you, if you think that is strange, let me tell you about the Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum honey trees.
What?
Oh,
The honey
Honey
trees.
trees?
Honey
The honey trees. You have not heard about the honey trees?
Oh, the honey.
No.
I haven't heard shit.
Oh my goodness. All right. So, in the Sinnoh region, there are, let me see, 21 trees scattered throughout the region that are colored yellow. And you get this item called just honey. And what you use it for, you can slather the honey on these yellow trees, and it will attract wild Pokemon to the tree. The tree will do a little shake, and you can click on it, and a Pokemon will pop up. And this is actually the only way to get certain Pokemon in the game, like Wurmple, you can get Apom, you can get
Vespa.
Oh, yeah,
Burmy.
yeah. I remember about the honey.
Oh,
now.
Yeah, the honey trees, right? It's really cute.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you how they actually work. See, when you slather the honey, the effect of like the shaking and everything, it's not instant. In order for something to spawn at that tree, you have to slather the honey and wait 6 hours
Oh.
before anything can happen. And if you wait longer than 24 hours, the Pokemon will despawn and you'll lose the honey. And you have to do it again. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, you're on a DS. Just change the internal time.
Yeah.
No,
What?
no. Diamond and Pearl actually had a check for whenever you would tamper with your DS time. So if it noticed that the date time changed at all, even if it was for daylight savings, it would cancel all time-based events and be like, wait 24 hours for this to
Oh.
reset.
Good.
You had
Jesus
to wait
Christ.
6 hours in real life.
No.
Now, this is okay sometimes.
Just do it
Because,
overnight
you know-
and then, yeah.
You know, you can just go off and do your own thing.
Yeah, you can go off and do your own thing. But if you wanted, let's say, a female Combi, which was the only way to get Vespiquen,
Mhm.
fuck you. There was, I believe, what is it? I think it's only a 20% chance for a comb bee to even appear in the first place. And comb bee only have a 12.5 chance to spawn as female.
Oh.
No. Let me.
Yeah.
No, I will say,
Yeah. What's this?
I did do that,
Mhm.
and I may or may not have gotten a female comb bee on my first try.
Really?
And you are a very lucky lad, but I am not finished.
Oh.
I am not finished. Let's say you really like Heracross.
Yeah. Who
That's
doesn't?
great.
1%.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
1%.
That fucking hurts.
Let's say
Okay.
it gets worse.
No?
Now, let's say.
No,
So,
Jay, let's say. Let's say.
21 honey trees. Okay?
Yeah,
21 honey
21
trees.
honey trees.
There are actually 4 of them. 4 of these trees are actually special. They're called the community has called them munchlax honey trees because here's the thing. You can actually get munchlax at these honey trees, but
nice.
only at these 4 special trees. These trees are aesthetically identical to every other honey tree. They are fucking random.
Oh.
Which one they are. It's not predictable because it's based on your new game save. On your
Oh,
trainer
the same
ID
trees in every
and
game.
your secret ID. It's fucking random which tree they are, and you have no idea that it's a munchlax tree until, guess what? A munchlax spawns there.
Hmm.
So,
And what are the odds of this munchlax appearing?
assuming you manage to find and slather one of these 4 trees, you wait 6 hours, the tree started shaking, signaling that a Pokemon has spawned. You want to guess how likely it is to be a munchlax?
Point 1.
It's 1%.
Oh my god.
Boy.
Wait.
It's 1%.
I
So-
got you, game
You know-
5-star.
Do you know what has a 9% chance of happening?
What's that?
What?
No Pokemon.
Oh.
You have a 9% chance to get jack shit.
You have a
as opposed to
9% chance to
munchlax.
get jack shit. You have a handful of percentages to get anything else from every single other honey tree, and 1% to get a munchlax.
Wait, so let me get this straight. If Munchlax doesn't spawn, do you have any indication that that is a Munchlax tree?
Got
No.
it.
So you
No.
literally have no way of knowing whether or
Oh,
not
then
your
do not.
6-hour investment is on even the correct tree or not.
That is correct.
And it will take 100 attempts to get this thing.
On
Uh,
average.
Yeah.
On average, that's the
Well, really
percentage.
25 spread across the 4 alleged
yeah.
trees.
Yep.
But yeah.
If you have the right trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, you're probably thinking, maybe the smarties of you are thinking, the people who are used to shiny hunting, why don't you just soft reset, actually? You wait till a tree starts shaking, and then you soft reset, and then see if you can get a new encounter. Well, let me read you this excerpt from Bulbapedia. The species of Pokemon, or whether one will appear at all, is determined at the time that a tree is slathered.
Oh,
Therefore,
God.
once the tree is slathered, saving the game and resetting will not change the Pokemon that will appear on it. So every single fucking time, you have to wait 6 hours.
They really wanted you to wait 6 hours.
Mhm.
Yeah, they figure, oh, kids got plenty of time. They don't have anything to do
Yeah.
besides sit
If
here
you
for 6
wanted
hours.
If you wanted Munchlax, Game Freak says, fuck you.
Kids got plenty of time. They'll be adults by the time they get this Munchlax.
Yeah.
So, great game.
Good game.
Yeah.
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 Holy shit.
I was waiting for you to
Um,
say, oh, it gets even weirder.
Well, nope, that's the end of the honey trees. Yeah. Honey tree Munchlax is easily one of the rarest encounters across the series. It's just stupid. It's stupid how it is.
Oh my god, that's beautiful. I love
Yeah.
it.
Okay. What else do I got?
It
Lore,
is Feebas,
metaphysics and
generation.
lore.
Also metaphysics, yeah.
What was it?
Right, metaphysics. I will definitely get to that.
Is Feebas the generation?
No, Feebas
Feebas
is
is three.
Generation 3. That's It's actually a less extreme version of the honey tree
Okay.
thing, if you can believe it. It's basically there's one route where Feebas spawns, but it'll only spawn in certain water tiles because you have to fish for it. And those water tiles, I think it's like 5 on the entire route, and they're random.
Yeah.
They're randomized
Good.
every single day.
Cool.
Those tiles, and even if you find a tile, you're not even guaranteed to fish up a Feebas.
Yep. I have done
Honey tree.
Feebas before because melodic is so good. I love that.
Yeah.
Melodic's beautiful. Yeah.
I have also done it. It's
Shiny
a little
melodic
annoying,
farming.
but it's not as bad as the honey trees.
Have you done a honey tree? Have you gotten your munchlax from a honey tree?
No,
Oh my
I'm
god.
not crazy.
So that was an example of something that's
Mimi's
really...
been trying every day since the release of the honey trees to get a munchlax and still hasn't.
That was an example of something that's check this shit out. What was something that... What was a something in like the game world or the story that you saw and you were like, holy shit, that's actually really fucking cool. Like something that stood out as really, really cool.
In Pokemon,
Yeah, in this gen.
in Gen 4 specifically.
Yeah, it can be like anything about like the world, city, something in the plot, something that just really stood out to you.
I really like Canalab City in general. It's got a library with like really cool lore. It's got one of my favorite tracks in the game. It's a very peaceful port city with a drawbridge, and you know
An island too.
it's just got a really good vibe. Like
Isn't
you can
there, like,
imagine
a
like
Ferry nearby too?
Yeah, it takes you to Iron
yeah.
Island.
Yeah.
yeah, it'll take you to Iron Island, and if you have certain events, it will take you to New Moon Island and a couple other places. Yeah, it's very nice. It's small, but it's very nice. It's got a good vibe. And if you actually like take the boat, the drawbridge will like lift up because it was like the Nintendo DS, and it was the first time they were doing like semi 3D things. So, I especially like it when it's around sunset. That's whenever I think of Canalab City, I always think of it at sunset. It's very nice. Everything is orange, and I just like it.
It's good.
Nice. It's good. It's good. I feel like if I could live somewhere in the Pokemon world, it would probably be there. Or Sutopolis City, because Sutopolis City is cool.
Sutopolis is great.
Yeah. Alright. Let's move on to some more wackiness. So, are any of you familiar with the ability Cute Charm?
Vaguely?
I'm not.
No, not really. I
So,
suck at
a little
remembering. I suck
That
at
was
remembering
one, like-
abilities.
Enemies of the opposite gender could occasionally not attack you because they thought you were cute or something? Is that what it?
What it did was if a Pokemon of the opposite gender as your Pokemon with Cute Charm hit it physically, there was a chance that it would fall in love. So take on the attracted status. So attract is really fucking annoying to break through. It basically rolls a die and decides whether or not the Pokemon gets to attack that turn or not, or do what it's told. Otherwise, it's immobilized by love. So that's what it does in battle. It actually has a secondary effect. And the secondary effect is that it raises the chance that wild Pokemon encounters will be the opposite gender of the Pokemon with Cute Charm if it's in the lead party slot.
Huh.
So that could be pretty useful when hunting for certain things of certain genders.
Like a female combi.
Like a female Colby. You could, in theory, use it for that. In theory. As we know, the Honey Tree Pokemon is determined at the moment of slathering.
Yeah.
So, who knows how that works.
Lather.
Yeah.
Yes. But, Cute Charm had it was a little buggy in Gen 4. And it had to do with the way that the game would decide whether or not a Pokemon was male or female, or whether it had a certain nature or certain IVs and blah 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 blah, all this stuff. So Cute Charm would like directly manipulate those values. So I'm just gonna, again, read an excerpt from Bulbapedia. So, in Generation 4 only, when Cute Charm forces a Pokemon to be a specific gender, it does so by setting its personality value to 1 out of 25 possible values that correspond to the forced gender, 1 value per nature. This set of possible values depends on the gender of the Pokemon with Cute Charm, and if the Pokemon with Cute Charm is female, the wild Pokemon's gender ratio. This has significant consequences for the properties determined by personality value. So, again, personality value, this is like a hidden data that nobody sees. It's just like in the code, and it determines things like nature and IVs, and also whether a Pokemon is shiny or not, actually. So, since it's physically not physically, but it's manipulating these values, it can actually fuck up shiny chances depending on what your trainer ID is, because all of these things like trainer ID and secret ID and personality value, they're all weirdly interconnected in these algorithms in Gen 4. And anyway, so as a result, when the encountered species can be affected by Cute Charm, the chances of encountering a shiny Pokemon differ than the usual 1 in 8,192, which is the standard before Generation 6. They've actually made it slightly more common to get shiny Pokemon in Gen 6 and after. I believe it's 1 in 5,000 something now, and it could even be lowered after that. But the true hardcore was 1 in 8,192, which is roughly 0.01% that something will be shiny. But since Cute Charm fucks this up, this can change the actual percentage to anywhere between 0.004% or 21%.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
Die.
Good.
Die.
It just did that. You would have no way of knowing what you got, but you could, in theory,
have a super and just be able to get a lot of shinies of that one Pokemon.
Oh my god.
And I think that's among the best shiny chances in the series, discounting the guaranteed stuff, obviously. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
I love
Let's
it.
talk. Yeah, it's great. Let's talk about the lock capsule. Who's heard of the lock capsule before?
I have heard the name.
All right.
It definitely, that sounds like in every Pokemon game, there are 5 peripheral bells or whistles that someone in a town who is a faceless NPC will go, yes, hello, have you ever heard of the lock capsule? You can engage with it at blank building. And then I never walk into that building ever.
Not quite. But you're sort of on the right track, but not quite. So, the lock capsule was an event item that was supposed to be distributed in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. It never did. But it didn't actually do anything in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. You can hack the item into your game, it does nothing. You can't... nothing. Literally nothing. And that was because its purpose was to be transferred up into Generation 5, so into Black and White, using an item called the Relocator, which, by the way, is a very fringe item that was only ever used... It was supposed to be used for this event, but it was also used for an event that tied in with a certain movie, which had Celebi and then the shiny legendary beasts in it. So there was an event in Generation 4 that would give you a Celebi, and then another handful that gave you Raikou, Entei, and Suicune shiny.
I specifically remember this event.
Yeah, I actually still have them lying around in Pokebank somewhere. I have a couple of them.
I have them on my X and Y.
J-Man.
Yeah.
I remember this
So-
event. It also came with the shiny iceberg.
Yeah.
So,
I just remember fuck off Phantasmal Man hunting down Suicune in that one game.
Oh yeah, Crystal.
Yeah.
Crystal.
Also Soul Silver.
Oh
yeah, that's what the fuck's his name?
And he made the iceberg.
Eugene. Good old Eugene.
Yeah.
Man, did you know Eugene is an anagram of Suicune?
Ricky,
Yeah.
just killed Leonardo
They did that
DiCaprio.
on purpose. Anyway, so this Celebi and these shiny beasts, you could transfer them into Generation 5 the regular way, which was through like the transfer minigame or whatever. But Game Freak didn't actually want you to do that, but they didn't really well, they did. But they didn't want you to do it that way, because if you did it that way, you actually locked yourself out of some content. You had to use a fringe item called the Relocator to relocate these Pokemon, and if you did, and only if you did it this way, you would unlock an event in Black and White that would give you a Zorua if you transferred Celebi, and if you translocated the beast, you got Zoroark. Okay?
Ooh.
This was the only way, mind you, to get Zorua and Zoroark in Black and White. Then Black 2 and White 2 came out, and they just gave you a Zorua. Like, they just gave you one in the story, so it wasn't even a big deal.
Yeah.
I forget how bullshit old Pokemon events were.
Yeah.
This isn't even that old. Oh my
they were-
god. Don't
yeah.
even get me started about the GS Ball. Listen, no. We're not talking about the GS Ball right now. Maybe if we have time, I'll go back to it, but we're not going to talk about it right now.
Old
Anyway.
Pokemon events either boil down to be in this specific, like, real-world location at this particular time, on this only date, to get this, which you can do in-game in a specific way to get this Pokemon, or it was the whole Gigas thing all over
Pretty
again.
much. Pretty much. Game Freak loves stupid gimmicks. Stupid fucking gimmicks. Anyway, so to bring this back to the lock capsule, it was never released, so the event is moot. But, in theory, you were supposed to transfer the lock capsule from the relocator into Black and White. And the description on the lock capsule is a sturdy capsule that can only be opened with a special key. So you're like, okay. So, in theory, if the event was released and you did that, you're like, okay, where's the key? There's no key. There is no key. There is a clown.
What?
There is a clown.
I see.
In Castelia City, in one of the buildings, there is a clown. His name is Mr. Lock. He can unlock anything. You give him the lock capsule, and he will open it for you.
Oh.
The game doesn't tell you this, you just have to find him. He's on like the 18th floor of a building or something. Anyway, he will unlock it for you. You know what's in the lock capsule?
What's that?
Is it hot
TM95.
bullshit?
TM95 Snarl.
Uh,
A 15 PP, 55 base power, 95% accuracy move that lowers special attack.
Oh my
see.
god, are you
Good.
kidding me?
This event was
Die.
never released.
Die. Perish.
I just
Your Pokemon
Why?
can learn how to growl aggressively now.
I just love the way you phrased that of like, there is no key. There is just a clown.
There's a clown.
So,
So, that event was never released. Mr. Locke is still in the game. He doesn't do anything. He just tells you he's good at unlocking stuff.
I see.
He's your friend.
You can find him if you have Black or White and say hi to him.
One thing
Clowns,
I
right?
actually enjoyed quite a bit in a lot of Pokemon games do is time-sensitive events in the game. Like sometimes you have to like go to a certain thing at nighttime or dusk or some shit.
Yeah, that's
And I
cool.
and I remember one time I actually stayed up super late at night, specifically in Platinum, because an event would happen if you went to the spooky house in Platinum at night or some
Mhm,
shit, and it would go like you can get like Rodham or something. I think
Yeah,
it
you
was.
can get Rotom.
It's good stuff.
I
Also,
actually always found this interesting.
Same.
yeah. Also, fuck that spooky house. If people think Lavender
Right.
Town is spooky.
Yeah, that house.
Nothing
Oh my
in the old
god.
Chinatown. Nothing on the first experience of only in Diamond and Pearl, because they changed the music in Platinum for some reason. But in Diamond and Pearl, walking down the spring path and hearing that terrifying fucking music.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Guess what was at the end of the spring path in Diamond and Pearl?
What?
It was Turnback Cave, which had
Oh.
Giratina in it.
Oh god.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And the other thing about the spring path is that it just appears. It doesn't tell you that it appears. It appears after you beat the Elite Four, but it doesn't tell you. It's just a path is open now on a route that you might never visit again, and you'll just be like riding by on your bicycle one day, and there's a new path. You're like, I thought I'd clear out this route. And you go into that path, and this creepy fucking music starts playing, and then there's a cave, and then Satan is in there.
Yeah.
Oh man. There's also a bunch of ghosts in that house, right?
In the
Yeah.
old chateau, yes.
Yeah.
Like, not ghost Pokemon, like ghosts.
Ghosts. Like
There's
dead
also
Ghosts
some-
of people. Dead
there's
people
also
are in
some-
that house.
Really tasty snacks hidden in the floor in that shack.
There sure are. Old Gato, man.
There's one of the ghosts. When you enter one of the rooms, and it lets you peek into the rooms next door, sort of. And yeah, there's a little girl ghost that just chills out in there, apparently.
Yep. And if you go into that room, she is gone.
She is
Yep.
completely gone. Oh, you should talk about Giratina being Satan. This is important to me.
Guaranteed
Yeah.
Satan. Well, there isn't a whole lot to say about it, really. It's a creepy ghost dragon Pokemon, and it is its powers and lore are just the opposite of Arceus. So
Oh,
it also
Really?
has the lore of being banished to the distortion world for being violent.
oh,
So
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so in lore, it's technically the god of antimatter. What I wish, actually, me and my brother talk about this a lot. We actually wish it was the god of gravity, because that would have been so much fucking cooler. And it makes sense if you've ever seen the distortion world,
Yeah,
which is
it's crazy.
constantly
It's like
fucking with gravity.
It's like an Escher painting come to life.
It
Yeah.
also fits in the theme of with the other two Pokemon
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, of like forces of the universe that are inexplainable as of now. Pretty much. So,
Giratina was also the Titanic.
definitely.
Yeah,
So,
that I believe that.
I think I will close off on my section of JRPGs and Pokemon with one last little tidbit. I'm going to talk about the Azure Flute Arceus,
Ooh, okay.
which is another unreleased event, unfortunately. So, in Generation 4, there's actually, as far as I recall, there's no legitimate way to get Arceus. The first time that Arceus was legitimately available and they actually fucking gave it to you was you had to get it through the Dream World, which was a thing in Gen 5 that I won't get into, but it required you to sync into the internet and use a website. The service is no longer available, obviously, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I
actually
actually have
vaguely
a Dream
remember.
World Arceus. I'm
Yeah,
very
I
proud
actually
of.
vaguely remember this because my sister was really into it, and she actually made me play a little bit of Gen 5 so I could help her out with that Dream World stuff.
Yeah. It was the Dream World in Generation 5 was also the only way you could get certain berries, and also hidden abilities. But again, we're not here to talk about this. That's a whole other bucket of complexity and why you do this to us, Game Freak. But anyway, these are Flute Arceus. You were supposed to be able to get Arceus from this, and you would go to Spirit Pillar, you would play the flute, and then a staircase would open up, and you would enter the Hall of Origin, and Arceus would be there, and he would say, Dodo Gyun, and fight you. And it would be fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
It would be fucking terrifying because Arceus's battle theme is fucking terrifying.
It is.
It's no melody. it's just inconsistent trumpets blaring and drums and
I'll
long
grab it for the
silent
stream.
pauses. And you're like, what is happening? I am 10!
It was the
What's
same
happening?
music they
I
played
am
as the
10.
Titanic went down.
But what if I told you that there actually is a way to get the Azure Flute Arceus if you own Diamond or Pearl version? This doesn't work in any other version.
Doesn't work
It
in
doesn't work in
Platinum?
Platinum because they fixed it. They fixed the thing. You can actually reliably glitch it. Have you ever heard of void glitching or
No.
tweaking?
I
In
actually have
Generation
heard
4.
of this.
Just no.
No. All right. Well, this has to do with the way that all the Generation 4 games run. It's the most manipulatable in Diamond and Pearl because they hadn't fixed it. But you can technically tweak in Platinum and you can technically tweak in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. There just isn't a whole lot you can do with it. But basically, the way that the game would load maps is that it would do it in quadrants, in chunks. So like, you know, in Minecraft, for example, you know how the game loads in chunks? And
Yeah.
you basically, you cross the threshold and then the next chunk loads. And usually the one that's a bit behind you will despawn. So it will save memory on the game, right?
Yeah.
So this is how the Generation 4 games do it. You walk over a load zone and it will spawn the chunk in front of you, the quadrant in front of you, off screen, and despawn the one behind you. Okay? Now, since these things are chunks, they fit together nicely as squares. So there will always be a section where they cross, right? And you'll have like a little cross where you are, in theory, standing in between 4 different quadrants, right?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. It was discovered that if you pass in between these load zones very quickly, you can actually force the game to spawn the area incorrectly.
Oh.
Good.
Yeah. It'll just completely not know what to do and load trees into the middle of streets, and half a
Yo.
house will now be a lake.
I love
You know,
that.
stuff like that. It's great. It's pretty funny, and anyone can do it. It takes some pretty specific button inputs because usually you can't move that fast.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you have a bike. You have a bike in Diamond and Pearl, and it actually has some gear speeds. The fastest speed of the bike is fast enough to force the game to load incorrectly if you pass between them enough. So like, say, back, forth, a couple times, right? It takes some specific button inputs, but you can do it. Anyone can do it. You just need to own the game and to practice. It was discovered after that you can use this to actually glitch into the void.
Oh.
So, you know when you enter houses, you just see the interior of the house and everything around it is black?
Yeah.
The black is the void. You can get into the void and you can walk around in it. So, everything, the entire map, is accessible if you can get into the void.
Oh.
All you have to do is walk there. It takes some very specific step counts, but guess what? In Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, they gave you a little watch with different apps on it. One of them has a step counter on it.
Oh.
So people have been using that. So let's say you decided you wanted to walk to a certain place. If you walk, you follow the specific directions. Like, it also takes a while usually. I think it's somewhere like if you walk like north, south, like very specific steps for like half an hour,
Oh my god.
you can get to New Moon Island, where you can get a Darkrai,
Oh.
which you otherwise could not get unless you had an event that no longer exists.
Good.
You can use it to get the Azure Flute Arceus. if you
Oh.
want. It takes some weird finagling. It was actually only discovered 2 years ago that you could do this, but you can do it.
Oh my god,
And
that's so cool.
And guess what? You can repeat it as many times as you want.
Oh boy!
That's-
Infinite
You
Dark
just need to have the
Ride.
patience.
So I can get infinite god?
You
Yes.
can, if you want. It cannot be understated that it does take a lot of walking.
Tell me
But
I
you
can
can
get
do
the
it.
thing that defeated the Licky Licky inside the hit film Pokemon: The Rise of Darkrai.
You fucking can! Living in the shadow.
Yeah.
Man, the only thing stronger than God, Licky Licky.
Listen, you haven't seen it. You don't understand.
You're right, I haven't
I've seen it.
Oh!
So,
Amy
You know
does
what's great?
understand.
you know what's great about the Azurflute Arceus?
What's that?
There was another event tied to it. If you transferred that Arceus
Ooh!
into
Yeah, sorry, I did
Heart
this.
Gold and Soul Silver, you actually got to do a special little thing where you could, I don't know, transport yourself to this one altar, and Cynthia is there,
Yeah.
and you can an unknown is involved because you do it from the runes of Elf, I think. And you can get Arceus and the unknown to spawn you. It's your choice, either Giratina, Dialga, or Palkia. That's cool, right?
hmm
Hey Jake, are you allowed to play videos? On
Yeah,
this
no, I'm
podcast
getting it
with
right
it?
now.
Okay, no, hang
Yeah.
on, I can get it. I can get it. 'Cause I,
It's so scary.
it's good.
Also,
it's good.
To really quick answer a question from the chat from Honorable Insanity, is J-Man's only Pokemon knowledge the films? Yeah.
I'm curious on why that is.
J-Man
James.
watches a lot of movies, good and bad.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
You know this. I've seen every movie.
All of them.
I'm here. Let me find the right
Oh,
point.
hang
in
on,
this
hang on.
video.
I got it. I got it
Oh, okay.
time-stamped. I will give it to you.
Oh, fantastic. This scared the crap out of me. Warning, this is a little, like, it's surreal. It's not freaky. It's just
Please-
like, whoa, what the
Please
hell?
remember, I just want everyone to take note that this was coming out of a Pokemon game
Yeah.
on your little dinky fucking Nintendo DS.
Okay, so I'm
Just want
gonna
everyone to keep that in mind.
start it up. Yeah, playing right now.
There we go.
Good. This is the legit video?
Yeah, no, it's terrifying. It gets even weirder.
Holy shit!
No, it gets way weirder.
Just
I'm
just watch it. Let it sink right over you. Chaos is summoning
what the fuck?
Satan for us. Just for us.
I-
Not antimatter.
Look at all those stock images Arceus has power over.
This is like a
Arceus is the god of
video-
Getty images?
This is like a video that someone would find in an unlisted playlist of a bad ARG.
Yeah, you're right.
What?
Okay, so I'm gonna be real. That shit is hilarious.
This is
man.
dope.
It's so funny. What the fuck?
No, like,
This is.
Egg?
no, it's like, it's recreating things on a cellular level. It's unbelievable. This is so cool.
You see, to recreate a god, you must recreate a universe.
Egg.
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 This is bizarrely surreal.
In
No,
order to let it,
Ominous egg.
My egg!
in order to create an egg, you must let the Titanic sink.
So yeah, there you go. There's your Arceus creation cutscene of how you get your new god Pokemon. It's great.
Thank you for the round of eggs in chat.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for all the egg. Yeah, no. The deep lore behind Pokemon is actually kind of awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I mean, where it gets like weird metaphysical.
But that
Arcanus
is
doesn't
what
give a
its egg
shit.
looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like the weird red protrusion.
Oh no, that's the Azure flute. You've got to play that.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the egg.
No, somehow that's worse to me.
I gotta love how.
Hey,
at
yeah, I
the
don't like
end-
that either. I just don't
I
like how
gotta
that
love
looks.
how at the very end of this very surreal, borderline, cosmic, otherworldly horror scene, it's just, oh, you got Satan! Happy music!
Yeah.
You want to say the nickname?
Congratulations!
Do you want to give him a nickname? The Big S? Okay, cool.
Would you like to name your Satan?
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
No, Gen 4's really cool.
I'm gonna
Of course,
name him
really.
Mindy.
Okay, I actually have one more thing to say about Gen 4, and it
Please.
has to do with another event in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. If you had a Celebi, a specific event Celebi in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, you could use it to travel back in time and find Giovanni,
Yeah.
who
yeah.
is camping out in a cave in Tojo Falls. There's nothing in this cave except rocks, him, and a radio. And this is when like he hears the radio signal of Team Rocket being like, "Oh, come back, Giovanni, we
Yeah.
need you. We're building Team Rocket." And he's like, "Okay, I guess I'll come out of my cave now." But you're there, and he's like, "Get out of my way." Anyway, you could fight him, and when you beat him, he's like, "How could a kid beat me again? I guess I won't revive Team Rocket." And then
Looks
he
like I
exits
can't
the
go
cave.
sink the Titanic.
And then he exits the cave, and there's like a splash noise. And then you leave.
Oh. Oh God.
Okay.
What?
What the hell?
He returned from the
goes.
water from whence he came.
Yeah.
You know what? I know,
That was
I know I'm down on my luck, but I'll turn things around. Oh, hello, small child. How are you? Well, I'm just gonna take all my hopes and dreams and hide them at the bottom of this
I mean,
lake.
To be real, he was living in a cave with a radio. There's nothing else.
Oh my God, that's insane. I mean, at least we know he comes back with Team Rainbow Rocket way later. I
Eh,
think. I don't know. I didn't play those.
Team Rainbow
I didn't play him
Rocket is-
either.
Team Rainbow Rocket is not worth talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at
Also,
that.
I think this might be a good time to transition into somebody else's thing.
That's
It
perfect.
totally is. I've talked way
No,
too long.
thank you. I was freaking transfixed. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
up next, I think the interesting one to do next would be I want to hear Nico and J-Man talk about SMT because I want to hear
Ooh,
about
actually.
SMT or
The
Carl.
meanest games around.
Yeah, or Carl, do you want to talk about Golden Sun? What do you guys want to do?
I am down to hear about SMT.
Well, alright then.
About SMT, so this
Uh,
will be
I'm
Me and J-Man
curious about-
scream about these
Yeah,
frigging
I'm excited.
horrible games.
I have heard good things about SMT.
Being
Okay.
a fan of SMT is very much like being in an abusive relationship.
Yeah. So, here's the thing with SMT. There's so fucking many of them with so many fucking varying spin-offs. It is goddamn impossible to like rate them at all as like a whole. Because you got fucking Devil Survivor, Baseline, Persona, fucking
Devil Summoner. You've got all of the games that
You
came
got
out
the
like
Pokemon
before
clone.
Persona 3, which is where they're like super weird. You've
Yeah.
got the ones from before the Schism when Demi Kids was a game that
yeah,
existed.
Demi Kids. With Demi Kids Law and Demi Kids Chaos.
Yeah.
Where in Demi Kids Law you get hired by Yahweh to be a Pokemon master. In Demi Kids Chaos, you get hired by Lucifer to be a Pokemon master.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Which game is this?
Oh my
Demi
God,
Kids.
I'm
That
finding
was
Demi
Demi
Kids.
Kids, I think, was the one for the Game Boy Color? Is that
Oh
Yeah.
my God,
was
the
that-
only the first screenshot I found was this innocent little kid going, "You kidding me? A book about demons?"
Demi Kids is the one game from like before the Schism when Shin Megami became what we know it is now versus how it started that I'm familiar with.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Okay.
So weird.
So Jin here is the main character of Demi Kid's Chaos, because it actually has two different protagonists in the same world or what the fuck ever. And it has the similar mechanics of fusing together your demons and whatnot to get more powerful what the fuck evers. However, I do want to talk about how... So everybody knows SMT for being like demons and darkness and whatever emotions. People fail to realize SMT is one of the fucking goofiest franchises in the goddamn existence.
It's so silly. It's not just Persona. Like, Persona now is probably one of the most lighthearted of all of the SMT games that are, like, around in the modern iterations of it. But it's so fucking... Like, okay, in Shin Megami 4, the, like, most recent of the core Shin Megami games, their excuse for you not dying when you wipe is that the ferryman straight up is like, there are too many people here and I don't want to have to do paperwork. Get out! And he just puts you back to life.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't
Right.
want to deal with you.
And also, here's one of my personal favorites. In the hit game SMT2, features a certain scene featuring Thor riding an ICBM like a fucking surfboard into Japan, screaming, "Fuck Japan!"
No way!
Oh, it's fucking wonderful. It also features a
Oh
dance
my
club.
god.
Did you find it?
You sure am not. You are not joking.
Thanks, Japan.
It's a good franchise, you guys.
What the hell?
Yeah. SMT mechanically is actually, I actually really love SMT mechanically whenever it's playing nice.
How often is that, though? What percentage of the game is SMT playing
The
nice?
Persona games are kind of nice to you, and
They are.
Devil Summoner is kind of nice to you. And if you want to count Digital Devil Saga with the exception of the bosses, it's kind of nice to you.
Yeah. So a big deal with SMT games is actually every enemy in that game has the same stat growth as you do.
Oh god.
Oh, boy.
Least favorite designs in all of SMT come from Shin Megami Tensei 4, where the demon designer was on fucking acid. I hate all of the designs. They're so bad. The fairy is atrocious. Oh my god.
Yeah. But anyway, so for
I kind
example,
of love that Minotaur.
No, hold on. I'm sorry. Jay, if you're gonna put up something terrible, please put up the centaur.
Oh, Centaur is awful. Yeah, sorry, you were talking about not nice
Yeah,
bosses,
carry on.
so I had to.
Alright,
I had to listen
so-
to Minotaur.
the deal with SMT bosses is that they have the same stat growth as you, the character, does with your demons and shit.
So they're kind of
But
always
they-
a challenge for you, or?
Yeah, so that every enemy in the game is an enemy that you could conceivably match yourself or even and whatnot. Like the only exceptions are usually final bosses, so those are the only ones you can actually recruit. But for example, inside of it, like the first boss in SMT3 is Floros. The only thing with Floros and the reason why he's hard is because he's level 20. That's literally it. He's level 20 at the first boss of the game. That's just about
Oh my
it.
god, Floros
I'm
looks
sorry.
so hard.
I'm sorry, Damon. What is this?
It's a centaur.
Oh, it's
That's a
Centaur.
stand, dude.
That's not a centaur.
Do you like its pierced hip bone?
So I'm gonna be honest. I actually love this design.
I just looked up Floros. What the fuck is that thing?
What? Do you not like Floros?
I don't know what to think of it. Jake,
I'm
can you pull up
more-
Floros?
Yeah, I got you.
I'm more concerned with like its 8-pack, and also
Hey, that's a 10-pack.
its paintbrush thing.
Hooves?
Are they hooves? Oh, what the fuck?
Oh,
I love this thing so much.
It looks like that's
I
a
love-
sword.
I don't know if its head is its chest or if its head is the tiny thing at the end of the sword. Top of it.
Yeah,
Could be both.
but-
You never know
Head?
with SMT.
It looks like a Power Rangers villain, dude.
It does, yeah.
But anyways, back to the point. The games also have notoriously they all have the exploitation of weaknesses, which is kind of taken from shit like Pokemon, you know. But with it, you have exploit the weaknesses. Enemy gets knocked down. gives you extra shit to do in your fight against them and whatnot. Issue is you have those same weaknesses. You can be knocked down. That's the way they balance the combats. Is you will never, most fights in these games, you will never beat on your first try. It's all about going in, seeing how you get your ass kicked, and build a team to counter how you got your ass kicked last time. But one thing I kind of liked about SMT is how they treat morality inside the series on a narrative.
Yes!
Because in SMT, there's not good and evil. There is law, neutral, and chaos. And chaos is kind of just doing your own thing, yada yada. Who gives a shit? People might not like it, but this is what I want to do. Neutral is kind of, fuck it, I don't give a shit. Neutral's actually usually weirdly the more asshole path in SMT sometimes, unless you're playing 4. And then there's law, which is follow the rules that good old great praise you always send for us. Ho! But yeah, there's a bunch of like fucking weird, crazy shit with the different demons align different things and different
Wild
every
bird.
SMT. Yeah, and different endings will depend on which route you go down harder. Some games even have endings that exist outside of the base 3 moralities. Like in SMT3, there's an ending just called Freedom. That is where you just go, fuck all y'all. No.
So does the ending change depending on like which personas you or whatever demons you use, or?
No, it's usually more dependent on things. So the demons' personalities and what they kind of more fall under more falls into demon talks, where that's how you recruit more demons or get money from them or something, where you can sometimes tag in a demon from your party to talk for you. And if they're like more buddy with a certain type of demon, you'll have more success. But it's also kind of mostly RNG, and you can't actually memorize what you said to certain demons because it actually
Looking
doesn't
at you,
matter.
Strange Journey.
Girl.
Strange Journey has the worst demon negotiations. I hate talking to demons in Strange Journey.
Yeah. But
Human meat.
I love demon negotiations. They're about reading the mind of these creatures whose minds can't be read.
Well,
yeah.
because they all have specific personalities, and in theory, if you can pinpoint which personality, because they all have like very specific like speech patterns, and you can tell which personality they have based on those speech patterns. And in theory, you should be able to tell how the like after like once you get used to it, you should be able to like figure out how you respond to them in order to get them to not be mad at you.
Yeah, for
But
example, like
whatever
pixies
you
are
guess,
more.
You're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, so for example, like pixies tend to be like more mischievous or some shit, so you want to play the more mischievous answers generally. But
So-
the
There are also
Question.
I
demons.
guess.
what's that?
Based on just this image, so you tried to pick the chaotic, lawful, or neutral answer. What is the lawful meat, and what is the neutral meat?
You see,
Chicken, pork,
the lawful meat is beef. The neutral meat is pork. The chaos meat is human.
What's
What
chicken
happens if
then?
you pick the 4th?
Chicken is the freedom meat.
Ah,
I see.
free range chicken. Okay.
Ironic that the one bird that can't fly is the bird of
Yeah.
freedom here.
And the S&T series has a really fucked up timeline. So, like, all you need to know is that everything is Raido Kuzunoha's fault because he time traveled that one time.
Don't you dare play my boy!
No, it is his fault though. Good. So, with SMT, you start with SMT1. That's kind of like the base, whatever fuckhole things, and then there's a side timeline that leads into like the parallel timeline, which is SMT If, which leads into Persona, and shit like that, and different endings in different SMT games will branch off into different SMT spin-offs and shit. Like, I think there's an ending in SMT2 that spins off into what happens in fucking Devil Saga or some shit. And because of that, it's actually impossible to figure out what the fuck the timeline is.
Yeah, it's super fucked up.
That was gonna be my question. Like, is the plot connected or is it more self?
Vaguely.
Technically, but also
So a lot of SMT games end with the world getting fucking reset, and
yeah.
and your decisions and in your decisions at the end leading to the creation of the new world.
Good.
With all of them,
Good.
what they're doing. Like every SMT game, I think, except the Persona games, they don't really do it as much. But most of them, even in Devil Summoner and some of the others, and especially in Devil Survivor, you are essentially going through the recreation of the world. Like, the world begins ending at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
And what you do decides how it gets recreated at the end.
Yeah, the SMT4 actually didn't do that. SMT4 was like, hey, Tokyo's major fucked up, how are you going to fix it?
Yeah.
And then it leads into SMT4 Apocalypse where you do that shit.
Which is where you... Yep.
And unless you pick the Bonds ending. Oh. Be friends. Ugh. Nasty in an SMT game? Never. I'd rather fight the Titanic. But, yeah. The SMT games also have really varying character quality. But I actually really do like how they present shit in a lot of the games. For example, in Nocturne, your character is the Demi-Fiend. He is not...
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, he is a person who got turned into a demon. And the deal with the Nocturne is the world literally got turned inside out.
Yep.
And in the center of the
Inside out.
world is this
Yeah.
big floaty ass disco ball. And fucking that disco ball is basically like everybody's like, we're trying to get to that shit, 'cause if we get to that shit, we can reset the world into our own image.
Okay, wait.
Here's
Let me get this straight. So the world turned inside out. So
Yeah.
that means the core
Yes.
of the Earth is now on the outside. So are you telling me that like the crust of the Earth, the underside of the crust is just like the surface area of a disco ball? And that's what you mean?
so so imagine this. Okay, imagine you had a big clear like a plastic a hollow plastic sphere, okay?
Okay.
And the inside of that hollow plastic sphere, there is buildings and shit. And in floating right in the middle, not bound by gravity, is a disco ball.
I need
that's
a
what you
graph.
mean.
I need a graph to visualize this.
Don't worry about it. We'll get other shit later. It'll take literally too long.
The world is a snow globe
yeah.
right now with a disco ball in the middle, but there's no flat bottom. It is round.
Yeah, but
Okay.
so
And everything's on the sides.
They
like,
are-
where you live is the sides of the inside.
yeah.
That was Cocoon from
Yeah, that
Final
picture right there.
Fantasy 13.
Yeah, that picture right there. But anyways,
Oh, that's cool
The-
as shit.
that big disco ball in the sky is basically what's going to determine how the world will turn out after the apocalypse is over, and people are trying to get to that because in the world only a handful of humans are still alive. The only humans who are still alive are people who were inside of this hospital at the time, because this hospital is kind of like the center point of all this bullshit. This is a cult. And so you got like 5 people still alive. Only humans have the ability to develop what is called a reason and that reason is what they must present to this big floaty ass disco ball to recreate the world in their image.
Sounds legit.
Demi-Fiend is no longer human. He cannot develop a reason. So he has to decide whose reason he wants to side with.
That's so cool.
That is pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah.
And so you're given 3 guys they follow like the law, neutral, and chaos routes. The guy who follows the law routes like, I want to make a world where humans no longer have emotion, so all decisions will be made purely on logic, therefore there'll be no more wars. There's the person who wants to follow neutral route is like, I want to create not a new world, but a series of worlds, where every single person gets their own individual world, therefore no decision they make will be wrong. And the chaos route person goes, I want to make a world that is survival of the fittest. Only the strong may turn out on top. And so you must work to achieve your glory essentially. And you actually, but in this game, you have the option just to tell all these guys, no, go fuck y'all. then you have your other
Think
two options.
again, bitch.
Yeah, and where in which you can go, hey, I'm gonna go side with this mysterious fuck off voice who wants me to go down this spooky ass labyrinth or whatever. This might be vaguely evil. Who knows?
Who knows?
You might find Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
Yeah, you
Oh
sure
boy.
might find that.
Yeah.
That's not a. So he's an actual character. And...
Yeah, he's an
Oh, yeah,
actual
that's not a
character.
joke.
Oh,
You can
okay.
kill
That's
God
not-
with him.
All that
What?
shit on the
That's
internet,
not a
me.
joke.
That's not a joke.
No, it
He's
isn't
an
a
idiot.
joke.
I
Okay,
own
so-
one of the physical copies of that piece of shit.
Yeah, so they released two different versions of Nocturne. They released Nocturne and Nocturne Maniacs. Nocturne has Dante in it. Nocturne Maniacs has Rido in it. Dante, his fucking entrance is the most extra shit in the fucking universe.
The only thing I know about his entrance is the quote he throws at you the first time you fight him.
Yeah. So what he does is that you spend a good portion of the game climbing a big skyscraper that's owned by a fucking crazy powerful demon or whatever. You get to the top, talk to this demon, then you leave. When you
Oh, I
and
can
then-
play the video. Hold on, I got it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't fucking wait.
Oh, it's fucking wonderful.
Here, I'll link it in chat.
And like, oh, actually, let me say this first before you play the video. So in the game, you have a candelabrum. Every now and then, this candelabrum ignites. That means there is a fiend nearby. You are walking down the street, and all of a sudden, it's like you get the feeling you're being followed. You walk down the street and further, the candelabrum ignites. You walk up these steps, and this video happens.
Okay, playing.
And then you get fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
Perish.
He's
This
fucking-
game hates you.
Your character looks pretty fucking
Oh,
Yeah.
Demi Fiend is a sweet, darling baby boy. I know.
There
His
you are,
tattoos.
fiend.
cool. He has the best battle
Let's
theme
see
in
what
this
you've
game.
got.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. By the way, that is a literal 60-story tall skyscraper.
I love him so much.
Oh my god.
Glad to meet you, kid. Hope you feel the same. Oh my god, it's just right to it.
Yeah, and he's also one of the hardest boss fights
He's
in the
so fucking
game.
hard.
Oh
He's
and-
so fucking hard.
So here's the thing for things. At this point in the game, you're around level 30. Okay,
Yeah.
he is level 88.
Yeah.
He has no weaknesses. The only way to knock him down is to crit on him, and he has an attack that doubles his speed, and he will just fucking annihilate you.
I found the quote, which would you rather end up in, a coffin or a dumpster?
Yeah, and
Turn is one of the meanest games I've
So-
ever played.
when you
God.
beat him, eventually, like you'll have points in the game where he will fucking just show up and chase your ass down a hallway shooting at you. And every time he hits you with a bullet, you lose a significant amount of health for the actual fight.
Oh,
That's what the demons feel like in Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
The coolest.
And wanna what he
They're
so
trying to live their fucking lives.
One-
Here
one-
comes this bastard to
so-
chase them down a hallway.
wanna know what his fucking first line of dialogue is in the game?
what's that?
So the opening area is the hospital or whatever, and when you leave, you see he's like in the background, like watching you leave, and he's like, man, weird times show up here for sushi.
Oh, Dante.
The lead
Oh,
DMC,
God.
And we'll make cry.
Yeah.
the DMC2
That's
So-
where
Dante
the
person
meme
now.
came from.
So I actually have
so glad I
a,
know where it came
Know
from
your
now.
meme.
and you can actually recruit him to your team.
Oh,
If you go through the hardest dungeon in the game, in a fucking random room in the dungeon, you'll just be hanging out. And he'll be like, hey, how about I join your team? I'll flip a coin. If you can guess what side it'll end up on, I'll join your team. If you cannot decide what side it ends up on, you gotta pay me all your money, and I'll still join your team.
Oh, wow.
So if you spend all your money and only have like 1 gold left,
does it operate by DMC T logic where?
Yeah,
It's
both sides are the same.
That's great.
So all you need to know is which side is the double
Yeah,
sided.
and in Maniac's version, it's the same shit with Rido, but with Rido, it's like I'm gonna flip a fucking mahjong piece.
True
And
SMT fashion, the demons all demand your money.
How
Yeah.
many times do you fight him?
Dante, like 2 or 3.
I think like 3.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And he's a pain in the ass each fucking time.
I can't believe
It
this
is
isn't just
so
some.
fucking hard.
I can't believe this isn't just some weird collab that has no impact in the story of the game.
I think
I
it's
gotta say, this is probably one of the most delightful crossovers I've ever heard
Yeah.
of.
Oh, fucking
It is
SMT has
amazing.
crazy crossovers though.
It's
I
also
love
like-
SMT so much.
So, alright,
this is also like by most regards SMT's magnum opus. Like this is the SMT game, and it's got Dante running around in it.
So
I'm not saying
that's
that.
not even like the fucking craziest crossover. Like SMT in the fucking SMT gacha game, they have Bayonetta, and fucking and in the fucking MMO, they had Celti from Durara, and then inside of
That's amazing.
fucking Devil Survivor, they have Shizuo.
yeah, you
From
can get
Durham.
Shizuo.
Oh my
I
god.
can't believe one of his mechanics is literally the taunt.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. There is an MMO, Amy. I heard that just.
yeah. I
It's
played
really
the
fucking
MMO
hard
very
to
briefly.
Get into the MMO.
It's not good.
It's not good. So, okay, J-Man, did you have... I had this very specific problem that made the game nearly unplayable for me. Okay, so the MMO in true SMT fashion hates you and doesn't want
Yeah.
you to have any fun.
Unless you have
so
Anubis, then you win.
Unless you're Anubis. So you will be in an area that is properly leveled for you, but everything can still decimate you instantly because it's an SMT game and that's how it works. So if you try to... And the main draw of the MMO for me is one of also the main draws of Devil Summoner, in that you can have a little demon with you. You can have a little friend.
Look at your friend.
I love having little friends.
Yeah.
And the first one you get is Cerberus, who's a jackass. And
Yeah.
you can, in theory, set your little demon friend to be passive, so it won't attack everything nearby. So, comparing it to other MMOs where you get a little friend, you have your Chocobo in Final Fantasy XIV, which does not attack things without your consent. But the fucking Cerberus, that
Oh.
goddamn Cerberus will just wander away and attack things 3 times its level, so now you're in a fucking fight.
Yeah. So-
Wow.
It will come right after you.
So, fun fact also about the MMO. And this MMO, it has bosses that are meant to be raid bosses, but in SMT fashion, you can bust your demons to solo raid bosses. So the Demi Fiend is a secret boss in that game.
Oh, in the
You can just
MMO?
smite him. Yeah, he's an MMO, and he's actually an EX boss in Devil Saga as well, I think. Did you-
Well, okay, so here's the thing about Devil Saga, is, he does appear, I think, in the second one?
Yeah, and if
Digital
you
Devil
beat
Saga was not originally... You know what, you talk first, and then I'll talk about Digital Devil
Yeah,
Saga.
so SMT has weird ways to crossing over into itself whenever it does do it, where it will have, like, you'll find the Demi Fiend in a fucking closet in Devil
Yeah.
Saga.
He's like
and-
in a dank cave that has nothing to do with the story.
Yeah, and
it's like,
or
oh, here you
in
are.
fucking Soul Hackers, you'll find Raido Kuzunoha in a crack in the wall. Legitimately, he'll just fucking pop out of a crack in the wall with Godo, and then you fight. All right, so I just love this shit where you fight Raido and Godo, and Raido's like, "You're pretty strong," and he's like, "I'm gonna get some backup." Raido from the future walks out of the same fucking crack in the wall with Godo from the future, and he's like. And then he's like, "Hey, Raido." "Yeah, Raido? This kid's pretty strong." "Yeah, he seems so, Raido. Let's team up to fight him." And he goes, "All right, Raido." And then you fight him, and you beat both of them. And then they go, "Boy, Raido, that guy sure was strong. You're right, Raido. How about we use that random demon we found in this crack in the wall?" And then they throw a fucking battleship at you.
What the what?
These games are both bonkers and they hate you. So, like,
Look, man.
if you
Guys.
can get past how frustrated you are when you play them, they're hilarious.
Guys, I'm telling you right now, I'm fucking sold. Mail me an SMT
Yeah,
game
I'm-
and I will play it.
I love SMT games. I don't know why I like them so much because every time I play
I
them,
don't-
I'm like,
I-
God
from what
fucking
you
damn it,
said,
what did I
this-
do
just sounds like it, the best.
So
I love
they
that.
are hilarious.
They are-
Mechanically, they are there to frustrate you.
They hate you. Like,
Yeah, the
hands
difficulty
down-
sounds like it's been most of the
So
where this game gets its
Use
reputation
buffs.
from.
yeah,
Use
use buffs. But here, the SMT games, if you're like me and like I've played almost all of them, so I know how to. I'm used to SMT's fuckery at this point, so it doesn't
you can deal
fuck
with
me
them,
over as
yeah.
bad. It still fucks me over a
You
lot.
Get used to it.
And it's one of those things where you gotta be fucking patient as fuck and be willing to take those hits and whatnot. My only tip for people who play, thank you, Kari Space Queen, for the sub. My only tip for people who are getting into SMT is
Start
if
with
you die,
Persona.
yeah, start with Persona, and also if
Okay,
you
I already
die,
did that. I
yeah,
already
if
did that.
if you die on a boss, don't fucking immediately go and refight that boss.
Yeah.
Take what you go like, hey, did this thing fuck you up because of this? Get rid of that. Hell, make it to where your guy literally reflects that shit whenever he gets hit by it.
Alright.
So you're saying don't start with Nocturne.
Okay, so like
Nocturne-
this is Nocturne doesn't like you. Nocturne, in fact, hates you more than most SMT games do.
Yeah.
So the way the trap you fall into, because SMT is hands down my favorite video game franchise for all that says about me and the quality of things I am.
No, that's not surprising at all, Nico.
Like, SMT is my fucking favorite, but it tricked me. I started with Persona 3, and Persona 3 is just like a fun time, and it
Yeah.
doesn't hate you most of the time until one of the bosses has an AoE instant fucking death attack for some reason.
Yeah.
Gotta love bosses that do that.
And then I was like looking at the pack and I was like, oh shit, this has like a subtitle on it. And I looked up Shin Megami Tensei and found a whole world of new games. And then I got Nocturne immediately after that. That was the very next game I played, and it hated the shit out of me, and I was upset and frustrated, but went, I'm gonna play all of these fucking games.
You're valid.
I won't let them win.
Yeah.
The Devil Summoner is my favorite. It's the
Hell yeah.
will push Devil Summoner to everyone. Devil Summoners 1 and 2, they are my favorite in the entire Shin Megami games.
That's the one I
Yeah,
played
good.
and liked.
Desperately want them to make a third one now.
Yeah. That'd be wonderful. I even like
Love it.
Double Summoner. Both Devil Summoner 1 and 2 are very, very good. I think 2 is like significantly better than 1 because they
Well,
took.
yeah, because they learned from the first
Yeah.
one. It's
I
also
do-
Devil Summoner is super different from all of the others. Like it's not the combat is like only like maybe 25% turn-based.
Yeah, it's much more action.
Turn-based.
Huh.
It's super fun. It puts like a bigger emphasis on like your relationship to the demons than any of the other games do. It's so good. That game, the Devil Summoner games, changed the way I write stories. Like,
They're
please
great.
play them.
It's-
They're so good.
And
Yeah.
if you like vibe, it's like what 1920s Japan detective vibe.
Yeah,
Yo,
because it's
that's
like
fucking tight.
Fuck yeah.
World War II is
So
still
good.
happening.
You're a
And you
detective.
have to.
I'm sold.
Wait,
It's
whoa,
so
in World,
good.
wait, which one?
Gotta
is it?
stop the Nazis from resurrecting
You
Satan.
gotta stop the
Is
Nazis.
this the one with Cool Fura?
No, I don't think.
No, that one is Persona 2.
That's pretty. You're thinking of
okay.
Persona 2.
Yeah. So I can talk about that if we want to, but I do want to bring up Strange Journey just for a second.
Ooh.
Motherfucking
because
strange journey.
I want to talk about my favorite boy in Strange Journey,
Tell me
my
how you
boy,
play Strange
Mastema.
Yeah, let me grab that.
I fucking love Mastema. He's such a fucking shitter. So, Mastema. So in Strange Journey, you play as the jobbers of the SMT universe going to go and die.
Like,
wow.
isn't it? Hold on, it's been a while since I played Strange Journey, but isn't like Strange Journey the main team went in and got slaughtered? So
Yeah,
now
they
you,
fucking died.
D team, not B team, not second runner up. You are fucking Z-listers are ready. They're like, we ran out of
You
people.
are
You fuckers.
a
Now we picked
fucking
you up off the
random-
street. You gotta go.
You are a random guy with a fucking gun.
I love the spacesuits in Strange
So,
Journey, by the way. They look great.
In Strange Journey, you don't even have magic. You have grenades that replicate magic.
Yep. I think Strange Journey. No, Digital Devil. Damn it, Devil Summoner is the first time you see magic bullets, but you get them back in Strange Journey.
Yeah, and so Strange Journey has like right here in this picture, it's on stream right now. Boy with the helmet in his arm is the guy you play as. Girl on the left is Law Out Girl. Guy all the way on the right is Chaos. Black guy is black guy who dies.
Oh.
And the neutral route is your robot companion mascot. But anyways, I want to talk about, so throughout the game, there's this creepy ass blonde little girl you just meet amongst this freaky ass labyrinth. Every now and then it's like, why is she following us around? She's not doing anything. She's like following us around. What the fuck? And it's like you go and eventually you go and fight Mas Tema, and you kick his ass or whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, no, you thought you could beat me? You guys are the fucking Z-listers. I may be a fallen angel, but I'm still a fucking angel.
Yeah.
And then he goes, and then like he goes, watch, I'm gonna do my dumb super attack. This little girl comes in and just fucking karate chops the air and blows him up. And he's like, oh shit! He looks over and he's like, oh fuck, Lucifer! God damn it!
Oh, I love this guy already.
And it's like, and then like little girl Lucifer is like, stop. He's
Little
like,
girl
You
Lucifer.
shut the fuck up and go away. Strange
need
Journey
I
is
wanna see what
frustrating but fun.
and then
does
she
she
just
look like?
leaves the game and does not come back.
Let me share her name in this game also because it's hilarious. Her name is Louisa Fair.
Yeah. So in every mainline SMT game and a lot of the spin-offs, Lucifer is hiding somewhere. It's just a random fuck-off SMT with a fucking pun name.
Yeah, it's the guy, the person, guess what? The person who's secretly Lucifer, probably the character named Lucifer.
Yeah, and fucking they did try to see, it's usually blonde person inside some of the games. They trip you up with an SMT4 where it's brown haired girl but she has red eyes. Ooh.
Oh no.
I actually think Lucifer's design in SMT4 is pretty fucking rad. It's actually super freaky. It's like alien. It's like he has two forms in SMT4 and it's like legitimately like freaky looking. Like I actually like it a lot. But I fucking just love how in SMT, it is the equivalent of like how 80% of the demons in SMT are trying so hard to fit their role, but they go so hard they loop back around to being goofy.
Yeah.
I love it.
You've got two types of demons that are doing anything in the SMT games. They're the ones that are just, they fucking want it. Whatever they're doing, they're gonna fucking do it. They're gonna destroy the world to get it. And if there wasn't, they'll give a fuck. They're not there. They don't want you there. They don't want to be there. They don't want anyone there. They just like you're fighting them because you've invaded their space and they're mad at you, and that's all that's happening.
Yeah.
And then there's Jack Frost.
Yeah. Listen, Jack Frost is the most evil fucker in the
Yeah, no,
goddamn
Jack Frost will
universe.
kill you.
He's a fuck. It's true.
He has some.
He has a Mega Man game.
I've
The
heard that he
entire
has
Jack
some.
Frost family is terrible.
Yeah,
I've heard
Don't
that he-
poke the bear.
My favorite scene
He
in
has some
Strange
really
Journey
fucking-
is when.
I'm sorry, go on.
My favorite scene in Strange Journey is when you're walking through the hallways as your level 2 jobber ass, just walking around alone. All of a sudden, in the distance, you hear a rumbling, just like in the Jurassic Park when they are sitting in the cars and the T-Rex is a coming. But then, from the corner, it's a fucking giant Jack Frost chasing your motherfucking ass down a hallway.
God.
Wow.
Doesn't he have some like really solid quotes too?
Yeah.
Like if you think you're such hot shit, take this rock and eat it.
Jack Frost is really mean to you.
Yeah, no, Jack Frost is a bastard.
It's also in the mobile game which I played for a while. Jack Frost is so fucking mean to you. Like what the? Then again, in the mobile game, a lot of the demons are like really rude. Like
Yeah. The
So
mobile
weird.
game also features literally immediately introducing you to not Lucifer as soon as the game starts. He's just a guy. He works for your phone game ass.
Yup.
And you can also get Bayonetta now, so you should play the game. Nice.
No, the
But thinking
5-star
about
rate
that-
is the worst from what I hear.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it sure is. It's literally less than 1%.
Good.
But as oh boy, my music stopped. I gotta restart it. Oh no.
Oh no!
Yeah, I fucking, and I also want to talk about something that I personally thought was rad, which is, so in SMT, it's the fundamentals of you building your team is based around recruiting demons and fusing them into new demons, and sometimes crushing them down into items if you don't need them anymore. Or even letting them, yeah, but they did this in only one SMT game, and I fucking thought it was rad. Or in SMT2, you could not only fuse your demons, but in SMT2, you had swords that were made out of demons.
Oh,
So you could fuse your swords together into a new, stronger sword. And in SMT2, you play as like a weird clone baby or some shit. I don't fucking remember. You go and dance in a fucking dance club midway through, and you find God in his masturbation chair. I don't know.
Good. That's what I wanted to know.
Not the weirdest thing I've heard tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really hard to also talk about them without spoiling the plots of the game. So that's one reason why, like, they kind of, I would go fucking ham talking about what fucking stupid fucking shit they do in the goddamn plots.
I don't know. I feel like getting suplexed by a fucking battlecraft carrier by the past and future and present versions of one of the protagonists.
Mhm.
I feel like even if you did spoil something, it wouldn't detract away from the enjoyment of seeing that kind of shit unfold on screen.
Yeah. All you gotta know is that it's time to duel, and you should not have fun because the good Lord Yahweh says no.
Never.
I want you to have fun. I'm just letting y'all know that. If anyone in here is like, I'm gonna play some fucking SMT games, they hate you.
Oh.
They don't like you.
Oh, Assless Chaz Vivo asks, who's that guy in the wheelchair? Ha! 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 Depends, there's two of them. Are you talking about old man in wheelchair or man with glasses in wheelchair? Because one can eat eternity, and the other one is just an asshole in a wheelchair.
The other one can dance, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean,
But yeah.
the old man in wheelchair. What was the name now? I gotta look it up.
Fucking
What was the font?
Steven.
Yeah.
The other one?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. In that game, he is just called the old man and young boy, because in that game it is.
Oh.
So in that game, every time you run into him, he is with a maid, and sometimes he'll be an old man in a wheelchair and a young lady maid wheeling him around, and sometimes he will be a young boy with a old lady maid holding his hand and walking him around.
I've got the name. It is Louis Cypher.
Oh yeah, Louis Cypher.
Oh.
That's it. Now I remember.
It's not even subtle.
No.
It's never subtle. They don't give a shit. And
I just want you to play their mean ass game.
yeah.
He says he was specifically talking about the one with the glasses.
Oh, the one with the glasses. Okay. Oh boy. So that guy is, his name is Steven. Steven is the strongest character in the universe.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They had to tie him to a wheelchair in order to.
So, and he
Like Professor X kind of thing.
So
Yeah.
Steven, alright, he is a being that exists outside the laws of reality and unreality. In SMT4, he kind of shows up, in SMT4 Apocalypse anyways, he'll show up and be like, oh yeah, I run this weird fuck-off dimension that ties together literally every fucking dimension that's ever been into one fucked-off diamond realm. You can find the protagonist of every mainline SMT game here, and they'll join you to help you fight me at the end. And you go and fight him, and he's still in his fucking wheelchair or whatever, and you have Demi-Fiend, Aleph, the main character of SMT1, his name's just the hero. and what's his name in SMT4? I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, I gave him a stupid name.
Ponytail Boy.
Yeah,
I don't give a
Ponytail
shit.
Boy.
And then you have you, who is Godslayer Boy, whatever. And with all your demons, you team up to fight this guy. He's like the ultra fucking hard EX boss. You lower his health to 0, and he's like, oh yeah, that was pretty cool. Hold on. And he just stands up out of his chair, and all of a sudden his eyes started glowing, and he's floating off the floor, and background turns into fucking rainbows, and then this fucking shit's going nuts. And you fight him, and you beat him, and he's like, ooh, that was a pretty hard sweat. Good job. And he sits down in his chair, and he's like, okay, you can leave now.
Oh, cool.
Looks like in a house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking dumb. You want to see something that's even more dumb? Fucking go on ahead and look up fucking Strange Journey Memelef.
MLF.
It's hilarious. Trust me.
I feel like that's a typo.
No.
No.
Oh, whoa.
Think that, but-
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the person. Everything in Strange Journey is that person's fault.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not a big spoiler. They immediately tell you that.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, she
Okay.
turns into a brain in her second phase.
Oh, okay.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
So
Go on.
I gotta ask. You knew it was gonna come up when talking about SMT. What's the deal with Mara?
All right, so listen up.
I'm not linking an image of Mara.
That's fair. That is
Yeah,
fair.
all right, so
You're
listen
welcome to
up.
look up Mara yourself.
SMT is a thing that pulls a lot from folklore and mythology.
Oh, God.
Sometimes it pulls a little too hard, and sometimes they give you a dick attached to wheels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes they give you dick card, which I would
Oh.
like to point out that there is in existence a very nicely done, detailed collectible figurine of Dick Cart.
Yeah.
Good.
As he is
But
known
why
in-
that one in particular is a recurring
As
high-level
is known-
enemy?
Everything's
He's-
recurring.
He's a recurring, like, most of the demons exist in all of the games. There are some games that, like, maybe there's, like they circulate, but there's, like, a big, any demon you see in one game will appear in one form or another in another game.
He's
Yeah.
in Persona 5, and he
Just like Pokemon.
Robbing King of Desire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his Persona 5 name.
Persona 5 has 2 dick monsters, though. You can't be surprised at that point.
So,
Fucking
There's
okay.
a lot of dick-based myth. Like,
Yeah,
there's a lot
no.
of dick-based gods,
Ka-
there's a
Kama
lot of
Sutra
dick
and
in
such.
mythology.
But,
They're
like-
everywhere. You know what's a low-level demon that is in literally every game where demons are present? The Incubus.
Incubus, yeah.
Yeah. And it has giant fucking horn dick.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so there is one thing that I need to communicate about SMT more than anything else. When you play an SMT game, you realize this game is not made for you, the player. No, 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 no. This game is made for the people making it, and you get to play it. And make no mistake, the game doesn't just dislike you. It's not for you.
Yeah.
No,
Good.
the
You just-
game does not give a fuck if you play it. It doesn't care if you see the things that they put in it. It doesn't care. It doesn't care if you finish it. It doesn't want you to.
No, it doesn't. It wants to be its weird demon game. It's like the game itself is like the demons contained within. They don't give a shit about you.
No, they
Yeah.
don't care.
SMT is like if you you want to experiment a little bit with some masochistic stuff. That's fine. You want to develop some Stockholm syndrome? Go for it. Have fun. It's
mean,
easier
that's
for a
where
good
I am.
time.
It's purely Stockholm syndrome at this point. I
Yeah.
love all of the SMT games. I am on a deep-seated quest to at least play all of them if I can't own all of them. Some of them just like straight don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Well, like, I love them so much. They don't like me. They don't like me. They don't want me to do what I'm doing, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, I would
So-
like to, before we, I would like to briefly talk about Persona real quick, and then we can switch off to whatever's next.
I was gonna ask about Persona specifically
Yeah.
because the only SMT game that I've played is Persona 4,
Mhm.
and I didn't even finish it. I got close, but then that game turned out to be way longer than I thought it was gonna
Oh,
be.
yeah.
Oh yeah, SMT games, Atlas games in general. Long
hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
So I want to specifically talk about Persona games that nobody but fucking me played. Personas 1 and 2, and maybe
1 and 2.
SMTF. Because nobody fucking played Persona 1 and 2.
Because Persona 1 and 2 are like from before the time when SMT games were like what they are now. Because there's a whole like there's the ones we have now, which are the Persona games, Nocturne, kind of Digital Devil Saga, but I'd place that one in like before the schism. Where like if you look at SMT games, you can see a very clear and obvious divide where the franchise dramatically shifted and became almost totally different games, and
Yeah.
Persona 1 and 2 are on the other side.
I mean, that
Yeah.
happened to Fire Emblem too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the thing is, a big issue with Persona 1 and 2 is that those games have all of the lore for Persona in it. And
Yeah.
Persona 3, 4, and 5, that lore is actually hyper fucking relevant. It's just that you won't fucking notice it unless you played these
Blue
games.
butterfly.
Yeah, the blue butterfly.
butterfly.
Ignore the
Very
red one. That one doesn't matter anymore. But fucking so Persona 1 is a sequel to the game SMT If. Even has the main character of SMT If showing up. SMT If has an anime you can watch if you want to look at that. It's not good, but it exists. Persona 1 features something I actually liked a lot compared to later SMT games where everybody, they just have their fucking personas. They get them all from a fuck-off asshole with a butterfly mask. And this guy's like, hey yo, here's your personas. In this game, when people fight their shadows, they actually fucking deal with their shadows instead of having other people fucking deal with it for them. Which I actually really appreciated. I thought that was kind of cool. That's the one thing I didn't really dig about other Persona games, is that it's kind of like, yeah, you're gonna deal with my problems for me. Have fun.
Yeah, they pass out and like they're not like with you in the fight, which would honestly
Yeah.
mechanically be the coolest thing of like we're tackling this together.
Yeah, and Persona 1, also Persona 1 actually had to have some major censorship in the re-release because they kind of had a vaguely, not vaguely, super racist main character. So, you know.
There's a lot of
like
not
that.
okay things.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
Also, what you're looking at here is Persona 2 Internal Punishments team, because there are two different Persona 2s actually. 'Cause there's Innocent Sin, and then there's Eternal Punishment, which is a sequel to Innocent Sin. Because Persona 2 has actually a kind of weird ending, but Persona 1 has this thing where it explains why everything's so fuckery everywhere and why shit like the metaverse exists. Because, like, they're like, hey, yeah, we're going to perform a crazy experiment on this lady's brain. Her brain, them doing that gave her, she had, like, vaguely psychic powers or whatnot. And them doing these experiments caused a crazy fuckery that fucked up the entire town. And so there's like 3 different versions of her running around. One's like a little kid, one is the embodiment of Pandora, another one's like her. And yada yada, shit's crazy. Persona 1's weird, has 2 different weird endings, have literally nothing to do with one another. Persona 2 is one I'm more interested in. Persona 2 is the one that gets really interesting in Persona 1, Philemon, Butterfly Masked Man, was actually like, he was portrayed in his like mid-40s to 50s. Persona 2, he is much younger looking. He is like, looks like somebody in his mid-20s. And if you might notice, his mask is also kind of fucked up in Persona 2 compared to what it was in 1, where in 1 his mask is very clean and whatnot, but in Persona 2 half his mask is like kind of crazy and shit. This is due to the influence of the god Nyarlathotep, which is the equivalent of, if Philemon is the blue butterfly, Nyarlathotep is the red butterfly. Philemon is the guy who represents humanity. Nyarlathotep is the one who represents, like, the good half humanity. Nyarlathotep represents the chaos half, yada yada. In Persona 2, the main plot of the game basically goes along with, like, a fucker by the name of Joker's running around. Yeah, Joker, same thing, that's Persona 5, whatever. And this Joker is literally making rumors become true. And so you get shit like, and this Joker's persona was Nyarlathotep. and you have him doing shit like, "Hey, did you guys hear the rumor? I hear Hitler survived World War II, and he had a crazy mecha police force that teamed up with him, and he's still alive to this day." And then this Hitler shows up in sunglasses, and he's a fucking problem.
He's named Cool Fury. His name is called Cool Fury.
I love Joker's design so much, by the way.
Okay, so
That's a good design, yeah.
the deal with Joker is like, I'm gonna run and spoil because nobody should ever fucking play these games. He is actually a party member of yours, kind of. There is a guy in the team who on the team for a while, but he's a friend of yours, and he is the sibling of one of the characters in the party or whatever. And when you were kids, when the party when they were kids, fucking wore Power Rangers masks and locked one of them into and locked this lady into a shack, and him as a little kid was so freaked out by this, and he thought that she fucking died in there when she actually didn't. Like, wanted to get revenge on them and whatnot, because once again it was a rumor that she died in there.
Oh, okay.
And he is creating he's making rumors come true. And but then later in the game he's like, "Oh fuck, that ain't what happened, is it? Oh sure, Nyarlathotep's an asshole, ain't it?" And then at the end of the game, he's like, "Wow, everything's a little too fucked up for us to fix." And so it's like, okay, we can fix this, but we need to sacrifice and fix this. And in order to sacrifice this, we're gonna have to sacrifice our memories of one another, and yada yada. Because the guy in the red and the X on his clothes in that picture right there is the main character of Innocent Sin.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, "All right, we're down," except for him. He's a fucking dumbass. He goes, "No." And so at the end, like, a bunch of bullshit happens. He keeps his memories. Everybody else doesn't. Persona 2 Eternal Punishment comes around. You play as the girl in the middle. She was the main heroine of the first game. Shit's still a fuckery. Nyarlathotep's still a fucking problem, and Joker is back, but it's not the same Joker. In fact, it looks significantly different. It looks way fucking freakier. He is like a guy wearing a fucking, like, paper bag over his fucking head that has fucked up shit all over it.
Okay.
And he's like a crazy fucking murderer guy. Whatever. And that game kind of goes like the way it goes, but at the end of the game, just to like simplify it, Philemon goes, "Yeah, that's the one."
Oh.
Oh boy, that you weren't kidding.
I love
Yeah. Persona 2, yeah, did have a gay romance archetype. But in fucking also the main heroine in Persona 1 shows up in this one. Doesn't matter, she doesn't do anything. She is a psychologist, whatever. She also shows up in Persona 3. Nobody remembers that though. But at the very end, you fight Nyarlathotep, who has taken the form of the Führer.
Oh god.
And
Yeah, not showing that.
you beat him, whatever, and Philemon is like, "Hey, I think us gods really shouldn't be fucking with your shit anymore." So he gives himself a new form that has no power, the form of the blue butterfly, which is why it's a form merely for an observer, somebody who can interfere. And you have shit like the Velvet Room, which is like, they're not there to interfere, they're merely there to provide a guiding hand, sort of, until they forget that rule, and then they interfere all the fucking time.
Yeah, they never stop. They did that for 5 seconds.
Yeah, and I actually really like Persona 2's Velvet Room a lot. Persona 2's Velvet Room, the blues band.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a guy there called the Demon Painter who looks like he came out of a fucking dumpster, who paints demons for you. And then Igor's there. He's always here though. Yeah, that's all I really want to talk about Persona, just so people fucking knew.
I got a question about with SMT5 coming up. What are you hoping to see from that?
Honestly, the most thing I'm hoping for is Virgil from Devil May.
Or
not even
Nero.
joking.
We'll take either or. at
Yeah,
this
that'd be
point.
fine.
I don't want Nero.
I like Nero after 5.
I'm glad it's coming to Switch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about all I really want to talk about, necessarily. Just a quick little going around on that.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah,
Fantastic.
good job selling SMT. Oh, I knew you guys getting you two
Yeah.
together to talk about SMT would be
We're
the
gonna
SMT
do
best.
is a good
I am-
franchise.
Yeah.
I am
Devil
actually.
Summoner.
I'm
Yeah.
really interested in getting into it, but I just need to just jump into that pool.
Dude,
Yeah.
Devil Summoner and Persona if you're just starting because they're not mean to you and they don't hate you. I would say
Yeah.
Digital Devil Saga because it's also actually not very mean to you, but Digital Devil Saga technically isn't
I think-
a Shin Megami game.
I need to go finish Persona 3 at some point.
Yeah, I
'cause I've
think
been-
Persona 3 Portable is one of the very
hell
best
yeah.
starting places you
Oh,
can
hell yeah.
pick. I think that's the best Persona game, honestly.
Hell yeah.
But it's also the closest one. It's also the Persona game that has most to do with the lore of the previous ones, which I personally enjoyed. But yeah. Also, since we talked about that means I don't have to talk about the game I was going to talk about. So that's perfect.
Yeah.
Were you going to talk about Hyperdimension Neptunia?
No, I was going to talk about Grandia.
Oh hell yeah!
Grandia's
So
nice.
I think we should do a part 2.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Down for that.
Yeah. Let's.
Yeah, I gotta research more. I can't. I don't want to follow those two. Those are both really good.
Yeah. No.
I just want to say before we end, I gotta say, you guys did a great job of selling SMT to me specifically, who loves like stupid, hard things that give you really silly, shitty, stupid rewards. It sounds like a fucking time.
I like
Yeah.
I
love
like
the
games
Shin Megami
that are not so rooted in their own realism of their setting that they can't just have fun. Like,
Oh no, the
Yeah.
Shin Megami games are having a ton of
They
fun
don't give
with
two
themselves.
shits.
They're just me. They just hate you. The
Yeah.
games are having a great time.
Yeah.
No, I'm down
Yeah.
for that.
They don't want you to have a great time.
I'm,
Yeah, also-
I'm absolutely down for that.
There's
I'm like a masochist when I play video games, I think.
Oh.
yeah, you'll love it
It's
then.
strange.
there's something
Also-
compelling to me about a game that can have these like dark kind of themes, but at the same time have a game where Jack Frost looks up at you and goes, "I'll break your fucking kneecaps.
Eat this fucking
Buy
fucking
something.
Yeah.
Buy something from my shop, or I'll just die."
Yeah.
The
Also,
Shin Megami games changed the way I handle storytelling. I love everything about them,
yeah.
even
Also,
how much they hate.
CCC in Chaz means SMT's TTRPG stream. I want to do one. It's just that it's really hard to translate that shit into TTRPG
Yeah.
form. I have
Yeah.
tried. It's hard.
I demand a place in that.
I demand.
I demand.
I need to see that. If you need help ever bouncing ideas off of anyone, that's literally my favorite thing.
Yeah, I've been trying to make an SMT TTRPG system for actual years, but trying to figure out how fucking weaknesses work in a TTRPG format that's balanced drives me actually insane.
I think I might have discovered tech.
That's
we'll
good.
discuss. But yeah, like I think this works as a good call-off point. I was gonna talk about like Trails games, obviously, but you could just watch me do that regularly on this channel. So like, just go watch that instead.
We could always do a fucking Trails Scream stream eventually about whenever you catch up with Cold Steel and we do the fucking thing.
Oh, I'm excited for that. But yeah, no. J-Man and I will probably during the next one try to sell you guys on the Trails series for fun because it's really good. This music's from that. But for now, all you need to know is the most important.
Trails, not Tails, James.
Trails. Yeah, Kiseki.
yeah. I keep thinking Tails.
All you need to know is that today, Reen Schwarzer's VA officially stated that Reen Schwarzer is an LGBT plus ally, and that
Yay.
is canon as hell and very
Good.
important.
Yeah.
That is vital.
Sorry,
Aw.
that literally just popped up on my Twitter feed, so I'm like, I can share this with stream.
Yeah.
Oh
Good.
man. So I think that's it.
a
Hopefully
wrap.
Hopefully you guys had a good time talking about weird Pokemon and weird demons.
Yeah.
I hope some people pick up Gen 4.
Please, yeah, give it
I
a
would
shot.
definitely recommend Heart Gold and Soul Silver. It's really good for newbies, and also the Pokemon follow behind you,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that is great.
Instant
And you
results.
can
Yeah,
talk to
this is-
them.
And honey trees.
Devil Summoner has the same thing. You can have a small friend, you can have them out, you know, you can talk to them, and they'll go on adventures, and
it's
they'll
important.
find things for you and scream if they're in Inugami.
This one having a
I love the
child. is
Inugami. It's my favorite demon. The
Yeah.
Inugami is my favorite
My
demon.
favorite
It has
thing about the
teeth.
Inugami
Oh,
is that
they're
it'll,
so
it'll,
dumb and screamy.
it will do shit like going like, yes, arbitrator of the souls, come forth and accept this actual grain of salt from me.
They're so angry and they talk in all caps, and in some games they're very stupid.
Yeah, they do floop-de-loops.
Pikachu! They have my favorite idle animation in like all of games. So they just like float
Yeah.
around in a figure eight with their long dog bodies. Very good.
So, yeah, thank you everybody who tuned in. I believe next time, the little preview that we'll give is, I'm gonna gush about Kiseki, obviously. Carl, you're going to talk about Golden Sun, right?
Yes, I will talk about Golden Sun.
Yeah, so get hyped for Golden Sun.
It's been a small eternity since I Golden Sun.
Yeah, get
Golden Sun
hyped
is
for
one of
Golden
my
Sun and
favorites.
get ready to tolerate me talking about this game series more, Double Guns. And then, James, have you figured out what you're gonna talk about, or are you...
I have it down to 2 choices.
Okay, cool.
So, Grandia, that would take literally 20 minutes for me to talk about.
Oh, heck yes.
I would love to talk to. I have Grandia. I just need to get actually in it and play it because I've heard great things about it.
It's charming as fuck.
Okay, so with that, say goodbye to chat, everybody. Thanks for tuning
Goodbye
in.
to chat,
Bye,
everybody.
Chad. Thanks for coming.
Bye.